my name is ClickFlow, and welcome back to another episode of the Minecraft Thrive Guide. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I'm having a good one so far. As you can see, we're starting back here at the little farmhouse, and I have been spending some time off camera using our guardian farm that we made in the last episode. And my next objective for this series was that this episode I wanted to go through um, uh, making and installing a automatic sorting system for all of the drops that we were going to be getting from the Guardian farm. But I'm kind of sick of looking at that. It's been a long project, and I kind of don't want to do anything technical right now because we just finished that huge long project there. I've been doing a little bit the of the decorating and such. So if we're not going to be doing thing that, you can ask, what are we going to be doing during this episode? And I think since we have pretty much maxed out all of the enchantments that we can possibly get on our armor and on our tools, like there's just a few things that we could get to make these better, but we're pretty much maxed out in the way of combat and such. I think it's time. Yes, folks, it is time. We are gonna go find the end portal, and we are gonna go fight and slay a dragon. I don't think we're going to be slaying the dragon in this episode, but I think we're going to be doing a little bit of adventuring and showing you guys how to find a fortress in the overworld. Of course, the end portal is not like the Nether portal. We can't make them wherever we want. There's only a predetermined select few end portals that exist in the game, and they are in structures that generate in the world called fortresses. And so so we are going to need to be doing a bit of exploration in order to find that. And you might ask, how in the world are we supposed to find that? There are a few tips and tricks. They will generally spawn relatively enough close to villages, I think, anyway. I'm not sure if that's still part of the game. But the telltale trick to finding those, basically, is taking some of these blaze rods and some of these ender pearls. The blaze rods, of course, we get from the blazes, and the ender pearls we get from killing endermen. But if we take the ender pearls and the blaze rods and the blaze powder and we put it in a crafting interface like this, we can make an eye of ender. And I'm going to make a few of those. As you might have saw, we have a few blaze. We have a few ender pearls and blaze rods to play with. But if we were to take this outside and go out, and if we were to right click while holding one of these eyes of ender, it would fly away from us, and it would go about 10 or so blocks in the sky in the direction of the nearest fortress, and then it would stop, and then it would either be destroyed or it would drop, and it has a chance of being destroyed every time we use one of these things. So it won't tell us exactly the coordinates of the nearest fortress, but it will tell us the general direction of the nearest fortress. And we just gotta basically keep using these over and over and over until we get to a spot where we can triangulate that is most likely the spot where the fortress is. And then we have to dig down, because the fortresses will not generate on the surface of the world. It will generate in the ground. It's generally pretty close to Y level 20 or 30. But I'm pretty excited about that. I think it is time enough for us to go and find the end and free the end by slaying the dragon. But there are a few preparations I want to make first. One of the things that I want to make is an ender chest. Now, an ender chest is a special type of chest. It's not the exact same thing as the chests we have over here. The ender chest has some interesting properties to it. But if we take 8 obsidian like that, and we place one eye of ender in the center and then surround that by obsidian, that will make us an ender chest, and that is great. That's what I want. The ender chest is an interesting thing because if we open it, we have this inventory here, this inventory that we can access, and if we were to place something in it, and then we were to take and remove the ender chest with a silk touch pickaxe, then as you can see, it didn't drop our shovel. It's still gone somewhere. Now, if we can take this ender chest and we place it anywhere in the world, whether in the nether, in the end, in the overworld, it doesn't matter, and we can access it, our silk touch pickaxe is still there. So basically, it makes it so that we have a portable inventory, and that is absolutely fantastic. It will expand the inventory that we can have. So I'm going to leave this ender chest here in our base, and then I'm going to take a little bit more obsidian, and I'm going to make a second one that we can keep on our person at all times. And I am excited about that. So I'm going to always have this in my inventory so that we can store things in our ender chest that we don't need on our person at all times, but will be nice to have for long expeditions like going to find the fortress. And that instead of having to come all the way back to our base to get those, I can just place down this ender chest and access any of those things. So that is super awesome. I am happy about that. But the first things first, we need to take all of our blaze rods and blaze powder. I might take only half of them, since we have so much more blaze rods than we have ender pearls. But I am going to take those. I'm going to leave probably 4 out and leave the rest in the ender chest, um, so that we can have eyes of ender readily accessible for us to use. And I'm going to convert the rest of those into eyes of ender like that. And so we have a few eyes of ender that we can have on our person, and then if we need more, we can access them that way. I am also going to take all of our tools, although I probably will put the axe and the shovel inside of our ender chest because we won't necessarily need that. The pickaxe, the bow, and the sword I think I want to keep with me so that we can attack things if we get in a sticky situation, and so that we can mine through blocks. Of course, that's going to be very, very helpful for us. I think that's pretty much it. I do need to get a lot more torches because generally the fortresses will be dark, and we will need to light them up so we don't have any hostile mob spawns. So I need to go chop some more wood. So I'm actually going to take my pickaxe out and then my axe out, and I'm gonna go get me some more wood and then make us some more torches, and I think we can go and start our journey. But I will be back with you guys after I have some more torches and made some more other preparations. Okay, so I think I'm ready for our trip. As you can see, I have a stack of torches, my silk touch pickaxe, our surrender sword, our bow. I got infinity and flame and a higher power rating on that. We have a couple of we have a stack of dirt, and I might as well take a stack of cobblestone or something. We'll probably end up getting more blocks anyway. But I also have our ender pearls and our blaze rods that I put in there last time. I put in some more coal in case we wanted to make some more torches in this. We might, but we'll see how that goes. Some emergency wood that I can break into if I need. I also put in some more food items like this cooked beef. These golden carrots I got as loot from one of the shipwrecks, and those have a really high saturation value, so those will be good. golden apples will increase our regeneration and our health uh, and our health temporarily. I don't think I'll need those yet. We'll probably need those for the dragon fight, but I'm just preparing ahead of time. I have that enchanted apple for the same purpose. And then I have some backup tools in here in case I need them. I have another Silk Touch pickaxe, my Fortune 3, and my Silk Touch shovel, my axe. I have a backup bow in case we do end up dying, and some more arrows. So I have some backup tools and such in case something were to go wrong. And of course, I have my ender chest on me so we can access any of that inventory. So that is fantastic. I think the last thing I want is my boat. But since we're on an island, I'll probably be taking my boat. So, yeah, I'll just use that. Anyway, since the day is still young, oh, that is another thing I almost forgot. That would have been really bad to forget. The last thing I wanted is a bed. A bed that we can add to our ender chest, or at least in our inventory right now, so that while we're out for more than one day, we can just plop a bed down and sleep in that, so that we don't have to worry about dealing with any of the monsters at night and such. So that is fantastic. I think I'm going to keep my bed on my person right here. Might even put it in the hotbar just just cause. So let's go out here so we have a little bit of space. We can see which direction this ender pearl will go, and then we can set off. Because we know we're close to our spawn, this will be the nearest fortress that will spawn, that will generate closest to our spawn area. And they generally generate about 2,000-ish blocks away, if I remember from world spawn, and then they're a little bit more frequently generated after that 2,000 block radius. But we will see. So let us right click on this. And it looks like out a little bit towards our guardian farm in the northwestern direction. That did drop. It went quite a ways away, but as you can see, we are able to pick that back up and go on our way. So it is recyclable, and like I said, it does have a chance for it to break. But it looks like we are going to go off in that direction, so that is great. I'm going to grab the boat, turn around, make sure I'm going in the right direction, and off we go. So I think we're enough away. If we throw Eye of Ender, it looks like it's going back in that direction. So just to be sure, I'm going to go to the opposite end of this village and throw another one to make sure that it still points towards the village, and we can successfully triangulate our fortress, or our portal to the end dimension. So let's go on this side and throw another, and look at that. It does. It goes straight to the portal, to the village. And so it's likely that this underneath this village there will be a fortress, and we can find the village. I mean the portal to the end dimension. Well, I think I'm going to go pretty close to this village center, probably in one of these buildings, and make one of these buildings my base of operations, where we can dig down from. And we'll probably build something a little bit more special around this later. But this looks like a pretty good building. It's got a fletching table and such, but that's great. If we want, we can now start digging our way through the floor of this, and we'll just kind of make a spiral staircase down into the earth as far as we can go to see if we can if we can find the end portal for us. So that's that guy going here. I can hear some skeletons in the distance, so it sounds like we're getting close. And an Enderman. Oh, and look at that. There are some stone bricks and some mossy stone bricks and a little bit cracked stone bricks. That is indicative that we have stumbled across our fortress. It's right above us, it looks like. So I'm going to go back to our little spot and walk up a few blocks and dig. Oh, look at that. We ran into it and we didn't even see it. Perfect. So they will generate these labyrinth type structures, and I am going to place some things here that will make it easier for us to find our way back home. I'll place that with a torch above it, so when we come around the corner and we see a stone block sticking out, that is not a part of the generated structure, and that will indicate to us that we have found our way back home. And of course, we're going to be using the same torch trick by putting the torches on the left side of the wall so we can follow those back. Redstone, iron chest plate.
I don't need it. I don't need it. I definitely don't need it.
No thanks. And occasionally there will be sections of the fortress which are dead ends. They don't really connect to any other part, as we're finding here. And a good way that I found is just to start breaking through to see if we can find other parts of the fortress. Oh, and look at that. So we dug off a little bit, and it looks like we did run into some stone bricks, which is indicative that we have run into another part of the fortress. And it looks like we ran into a library. These cobwebs are menacing. Anyway, this is a great sign. Inside of here you'll find lots of things like paper and such. And of course we can take down these bookshelves to get the normal books. And there are second floors to these guys, so somewhere around here we should be able to find a ladder which will take us up to the second floor. If there's a creeper. Make sure to light this puppy up. And you can find occasionally right there a chest on the upper floor of the room, which will have some more good loot. That is fantastic. Looting 3?
I need it!
I'm going to take that. Yes, please. Sharpness 3, piercing, and a mending. So if you don't want to go trade with a villager, it is possible to get mending outside of villager trades like that. And a infinity protection 3, I think I will. That is fantastic. Alright folks, well I have been down there exploring that for probably 2 hours now, and I have come to the conclusion that there is no end portal down there, which is sad, but it is what it is. And that does happen if you're if you're playing on the Java edition. Every world that you do, every stronghold that you come across will have an end portal. But Bedrock edition, unfortunately, that is not the case. Sometimes there will not be an end portal that will generate along with the stronghold. So we are going to have to go into a different direction. So I'm going to head back to our world spawn, and then we're going to head in the opposite direction for probably 200 to 300 blocks before we can throw our next Eye of Ender, because if we do throw our Eyes of Ender back at the world spawn, it will just direct us to this location again, which we do not want. We want to be far enough away from this location and close enough away to the other stronghold that the Eye of Ender will link to the other one and not to this one.
75 years later.
So I've been able to triangulate it to about right here, which is kind of interesting. It's like right next to this cave by the desert, as well as right on the shore next to this huge spruce forest. No village in sight, so like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to. But I think I'm going to start digging right about here and see where we can get to. I'm going to go ahead and put a block over my head so the water will drain out. And I'm also going to kind of dig straight down. I know it's not a good idea to dig straight down, but in this case, we're going to straddle these two blocks, if I can get that, so that when I dig that, I don't fall down. And so that way you can see underneath yourself while you're digging straight down. And we'll just continue on like this until we get where our stronghold is going to be at. So I'm excited. Oops, and it looks like we are breaking into the floor of this, and that looks great. It sounds like zombies are trying to break through the door. Let's see where we... Oh, perfect! Look at that! Holy cow! We hopped right down on top of this, basically. Now there is a spawner right here, a silverfish spawner. I know it's pretty ludicrous for me to break that, but that will... I really don't want to tangle with those guys, and they don't really make very good experience farms and such, but look at that, we found our end portal. We got really lucky on where we came down at. So if you want to come down on this 1830, 2230, if you guys are playing in the same world, that will be our nearest end portal, and that is fantastic. I'm going to quickly go and put some water right here so that all of that lava there will be eliminated. I don't want to have to worry about that being caught on fire when I'm over here. I'm also going to put some blocks over there so I can't walk into that. And then I'm going to go around and light up this room, because this will be a room that we use often in the future, in the fullness of time, because we will want to be able to come back to the end again and again. The last thing we are going to do in this episode, I think, is I'm going to set down my ender chest, say right there, and I'm going to grab a couple more of these ender pearls and blaze rods, because as you can see, these end portal blocks are empty, and there's no portal going into the end. These have to be filled, so if you right-click a Eye of Ender onto one of these, you can see it gets consumed, and that fills up one of those. So we have to fill up all of these ones, and that's why I brought a little bit of extra um, blaze powder and blaze rods, as well as Eyes of Ender. So we're going to make that many more. We're going to make 9 more, and I think that will fill it all up. We go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, and then our last one. You can see that opens up the portal, and I love the texture for the end portal. It's so cool. We're not going to go in that quite yet, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video and in this look in finding and the end portal in the Bedrock edition. As you can see, it's a little bit hit and miss as compared to the Java edition, but if you guys just keep at it, I'm sure you'll be able to find it in your worlds. I hope this has been insightful, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this. And if you did, make sure to leave a like on this video. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.